2. Tell you from experience, hunters leave some pretty awesome pieces, especially when it comes to something like an elk leg. I mean, I know these are hunters, you know, and as a hunter, you know, this has clearly been cut. This one's been snapped off. That one's been cut. There's a cut mark right there connecting up, but I mean, even this hide, all of this is, you know, potential resource. Now, it's hard to say how fresh it is. It does have a pretty pungent odor, but I can definitely still harvest the sinew out of this. Potentially use the leg bone even as a knife handle. I know Finn likes to chew on these hooves. Looks like a couple critters have already gotten to them. I can pop those off. Some great resources here. All right, let's go to camp. So anytime you're scavenging anything, you just got to make sure that it's not rotten, especially if you're looking to eat something off of it. Get the marrow on the inside. Even pull some of these hooves off and throw them to a dog. So what we're going to try and do is pull this hide off, see if we can get to that sinew that's on the inside, inspect the bone, and then check out some of that bone marrow. So just like a deer leg, I'm going to flip it around, and the main prize in this is that sinew. This hide might be a little far gone, but what I'll do is I'll cut down the front of the hide, see about removing as much of the hide as I can to save as a potential sheath, and really focus on getting that sinew out of there. Doesn't look too bad. There we go. All I'm looking to do is just remove the hide from the bone. There's a thin membrane, and you don't even have to cut. You just gotta take the tip of your blade and just separate the membrane from the bone. This is that sinew we're trying to get to. Just gotta be careful not to cut it. It's kind of encased in a little bit of a membrane. This right here is the piece we really want. That's the sinew that runs from the back of the leg all the way down to its ankle. Nice. There we go. All right. There is the leg hide with the back knuckles. What we're looking at here is the sinew runs from here all the way down. The best piece is this long piece. The longer the sinew, the easier it is to use. So usually it's going to be a little bit rotten up here. I'm trying to remove some of this casing. There we go. Separate that. Now it usually forks and connects to both of its hooves down here, so you can slice right down the middle, slice down the side, slice down the other side below the tendon. And there's the fork. There's a little membrane, a little casing that runs down through this, and that's what you got to remove. There we go. Good piece of elk sinew. Now this is also a piece as well. 1, 2 pieces. There's a front piece. There it is. Get this guy. So you can already see it starting to dry out a little bit. Those are the fibers. That's the sinew we want. So some of the front leg. Another piece of the front leg. Got these 2 little side ones right here. I run to the side of the hoof. There we go. Slip the blade underneath. Another piece. Another piece. All right, let's get this leg bone separated. It's real easy. Take it, push it to the ground with your knife. Just start slicing the tension points. And it will start to give way. Just be careful of your blade. You'll be good to go. There we go. Great knife handle. Add it to the collection. Right down the middle. Really, it's once it starts getting kind of dry, it's a little bit tougher to work. All right, toe bone. You gotta be careful with working with hooves because a good sharp blade can punch right through one. So just be careful where you're pushing and where your blade edge is. And one more good bone in there. So when it's all said and done, we still have one whole leg left. We still have one more hoof to get these two bones out, these little toe bones, and one more hoof. More importantly, we have this leg bone right here. I can tell you, marrow in there is not going to be the best. I can already smell it. More importantly, this little top area was exposed, so air's gotten into it, but still have a great knife handle. I've got a couple main pieces of sinew that are already starting to dry out nicely, plus all the subsequent smaller pieces that people typically overlook. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of sinew, and I've got this piece of elk leg. Now this leg, if you want to learn how to tan a hide, I recommend you pull some legs off the road from a roadkill. Find some when you're out in the bush walking around, and practice tanning this. There's not a lot of fat on there, but it does require some scraping, especially around where these little back nubs are. You're gonna have to scrape a lot of that out, but you can tan this hide, and they make really cool knife sheaths or little pouches. But an elk leg, a deer leg, a moose leg, anything like that is a great way to experiment with some hide tanning. We've got quite a few resources, from the bones for knife handles and various tools. We've got all the sinew for binding. We got the hide. We also have these two little toe bones, which make great fishing hooks and other various bone tools, as well as the hoof for a little snack for Finn. You can see there's not a lot of blood. My hands aren't bloody. It does take some time. It does take some practice, but hunters have a nasty habit of cutting off the legs, throwing them in the bush. Finn usually finds them. I'm a big proponent of scavenging any number of bones, rib bones, hip bones, clavicles, you name it. They can all be used for something, especially if you're out kind of living remotely, or you just need to come up with some resources, some projects, They can all serve a purpose, but they can definitely, increase some of your primitive skills knowledge by harvesting things like this when they come available and when the opportunity arises. Appreciate you watching. That's how I scavenge an elk leg.